All right, YouTube, long time no see. Make sure this is turned on because last time it wasn't. Okay. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to do this again because I fucked up. Let's try that again. Okay. Good morning. Hello, YouTube. It is July 14th, 10 a.m. now. And I think I have finally found my issue with my process of social media and getting everything together and moving. So, you know, those people who tell themselves they're going to get ready every year for New Year's, summer, a wedding, whatever, hype themselves up, and then when the day comes, they either didn't do it or they only stay consistent for a couple weeks to a couple months and then they fall off. Well, that essentially is what I've turned into trying to get my social media journey going. And in my last video, I said that I would be back, and I fully intended to, and then some things happened, and I just didn't. And it took me taking a step back and going, okay, clearly what I'm doing is not working because this is 10 years now that I've been trying to do this, and I'm still at the very beginning stages of just trying to post consistently for a few months. And it took taking off my kind of influencer thinking hat and going, I'm not ready for this yet. This hat gets on my nerves. It's irritating. It stresses me out. I don't like it. Let me just put it away. And instead, I put on my coaching hat, and I'm thinking, okay, if a client or any random person came to me with the story that I have with this and tried to figure out a solution, I already know right away what the problem is. And normally, people are thinking, okay, it's more information, or it's a better plan, or it's some other excuse. And sometimes that plays a small role, but that's not the root cause of why you're failing. And so when I did my own coaching analysis on my own social media journey, the problem is not that I needed more information or a better plan the way I had been doing it. I had allowed my early mistakes to get me off track and then create this 10-year span of failure and disaster trying to get it started. And it's only been recently that I figured out what that was. So the original plan was I would start posting on social media, create my own personal brand, which is where I got the Jeff Smith Fitness tank top from that I made years ago when I was finishing college, and then build my life from there. What actually ended up happening was I would start for a few days to a few weeks, get frustrated, give up, and then come back from New Year's and then go, well, I'll try again in summertime. In the summertime, I'd fail again and go, okay, no, 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 I'll do it again for next New Year's when people are hyped up. And I just kept that going for 10 years. And the first couple of months or years of failure caused me to panic. And so instead of thinking about sticking to the original foundational plan of just create value, post about my life, let people who connect with it connect with me and talk with me about it and answer questions and then build from there, I started to look for how to go viral, how to create, the best YouTube channel, how to have this physique that creates this amount of attention and get this and that. And I started to lose myself trying to mimic what I saw because I needed those results. I was trying to make up for lost time. And that's very similar to whenever you have clients or people that are trying to get in shape and they have a bad weekend of, drinking or eating stuff they're not supposed to be or eating in quantities they shouldn't be. And they think the fix is to do a crash diet on Monday, and that actually makes it worse because then they can't stick with the fundamentals, and then that makes it worse, and then they end up falling off or giving up or they stay stuck. That's essentially what I did. And so now that I've realized that and I've thought through it from a calmer place, my fix is not to repeat what I've been doing for the last 10 years and trying to come up with this new plan or research how to go viral now or get a bunch of overnight success to then make up for lost time. It's to get back to the original plan that I should have done 10 years ago and just post about where I'm trying to go, why, and then talk about where I'm and show and document where I'm at now and what I'm doing to kind of take the steps I need to get to where I want to go. And it's annoying and frustrating that it took me this long to realize that because I have put a lot of my life on hold or pause and I've been turning away different experiences to focus on this, to then have nothing great to uh, show from these 10 years. So, with that being said, I'm still going to post fitness content, but I think something I want people to think about with fitness, and at least me and how I see it, is the goal is not necessarily the body or the physique, right? I'm not going to the gym and working out because I'm trying to look a certain way to get external validation. It's because being in shape and investing in my personal fitness allows me to experience parts of life that I otherwise would have been blocked off from or not confident enough to take part in if I wasn't in shape. And that's the big why behind what I do. You know, it's not looking a certain way to then get a certain thing. And that's something that I'm going to try to preach and show as I get more consistent with these videos, is that the point is not this, it's what I can do with it out there with life and what I get to experience and live because I'm in shape. And we're going to go from there, because if I try to plan out too much, I'm going to mess up again, and I don't have time for that. So the agenda for today is to make this clip, go to the gym, go to the grocery store, get gas, come home, explain a couple more things, and then prepare for the next video. Stop it, edit this, and just get this first video out. I'm not going to try to worry about perfect this or create a movement this or whatever crap I've been telling myself before. I'm just going to get this done. And then I'm just going to wing the rest of it, and we're going to figure it out. So I'm going to stop this here before I rant, because I can feel a rant coming, and I should know better after 10 years of messing up. That's a big no for me. So I will see you. What was next? Gym. I will see you at the gym. All right, so it is 11:27. Made it to the gym, and this is a new gym that I'm going to because I had issues at the old one with community and just the people that were there, primarily like the staff and the trainers. And I think there were some issues there, and I'm not gonna get too much into that. That's the focus of this video, but this one is a lot more recording friendly, because a lot of people here are professional bodybuilders, they're competitors, or people that want to compete. So a lot of people are doing their physique checks and recording their workouts for whatever following they have, and a lot of their clients, so you know, average looking people or people that are working towards getting better and being at that higher performing level, are in their recording. So I shouldn't have any issues there. Because I'm in a little bit of a hurry, I'm not going to go in there mic'd up right now, and I'm gonna just kind of take notes on good spots where I could put the camera and record real fast, so I can show like my form, the workouts I do and whatnot, and to give you guys some guidance as well. Okay, just finished a quick back and bicep workout. Not too bad. I think this gym will work. That took about 30 minutes, which is pretty good. I think that if I do run into issues, it's going to be between me and a gym goer. Not that I ran anybody today that I think might be problems, but just as I try to predict and look at what could happen, I could be psyching myself out from the last gym. The issue will definitely be between me and probably a gym, if I even have issues. You know, like I said, I could be psyching myself out. Staff is nice. They have the equipment and stuff that I need to just keep my body going, build a little bit of muscle, or burn a little bit of fat and get into my maintenance phase. But I don't know. I'm not gonna worry too much about it. We'll just cross that bridge whenever we get there. And so now our next stop is Target. All right, so I made it back from Target. It is 2:27. Hopefully I'm in view here. If I'm not, then I'll just fix it later. But I didn't want to go into detail about, you know, what to eat, what not to eat, and do a big overhaul of groceries. I just wanted to do enough to give you an idea of what I eat. And maybe in the next video, I'll go more detail on why I chose the things I do and how to set up your own meal plan or eating routine, whatever. But I ordered it in the order that I think of when I'm grocery shopping and in the order I eat it in. So I have bread, eggs, cheese, fruit. That's usually breakfast. And then lunch is usually rice, vegetables, and some sort of protein. Have my seasoning here. I'm not really picky about seasoning. I just get whatever is on clearance or on sale and I just eat it. I'm not super picky, just as long as it functions and it helps me get it down. That's all that really matters. Um, Cooking spray. I'm doing spray right now until I figure out what my baseline calories are because I'm working on not just leaning out some, but downsizing. So I need to kind of watch how much I eat. And then if I end up needing more, I can always get more food, but I don't want to get extra stuff now and then not want it or not have it fit in my routine. So I'm going to just do spray for now. Brown rice, sour cream goes on the rice, and the meat, be like a Chipotle bowl. These aren't the usual vegetables that I get, but I decided to get these because Target was out of the ones I usually get, and so I got some fire roasted. I can't read this, but it's good enough. I read the back. Fiber, protein, it's what I needed, and then this is probably my favorite RTD, so ready to drink a protein drink right now. A lot of the ones from the brands I see on Instagram or YouTube taste gross, and I don't like them post workout or for a meal, and so I just typically don't get them. But these taste good enough to be part of like a meal that I eat to help me get my protein in. And right now, since I've been under eating for a while, I can't stomach a whole lot of food, so I try to get more of my protein in through drinks, and then as my stomach gets used to eating more food, I can go back to getting more of it from meat or other whole food protein sources. And then I have peanut butter and jelly, which I also had to make different choices than I usually would, but that's a good way for me to help kind of satisfy my sweet tooth a little bit without getting just raw pure candy or like donuts that I would usually get. It's a cheap and it still has protein, fiber, and carbs and healthy fats in there, so it's more functional for my body than just eating garbage. And then this is what I'll kind of do towards the end of the day. I got the dark chocolate version specifically so that there was more uh, fiber in here than getting just milk chocolate, which is usually just sugar, and that's about it. And that also has a little bit more iron in it as well, so it's a little bit more functional, a little bit better for me. Um, and then I got a Ghost, not for today, but I'm gonna have that probably as my pre-workout tomorrow after work, and then I'll see how I feel on that. And then if it works out well, I'll get more, and if it doesn't, then it's no big deal. It's just one can. So this is typically what I'd eat in a day. Doesn't matter whether I'm bulking and trying to add muscle, whether I'm cutting, trying to lose weight. The only thing that changes throughout the year is the quantity I eat. So typically in the summertime, this is grilled. Well, it is grilled, but it's usually just chicken breast because it's a lot less fat, and a little bit more protein. But I didn't. I've gotten recently very annoyed with having to cut it all up and put it in containers and then cook it, and it's the prep time is just obnoxious, and I'm trying to work on finding ways to make this more consistent, easier for me to stick with instead of things that kind of frustrate me. And then yeah, that's about it. Like I said in the next video, I'll go over kind of why I chose these in calories and protein and how I'm deciding how much to eat or not to eat. And then one last thing I did also get is I got a Chipotle on the way home because I'm gonna eat this as my post workout meal instead of trying to make my own because I'm a little bit tight on time. I just try to have this done by 3. It's already 2:30. I'm not gonna have time to put all these away, cook, and then be done by 3. So I just got this. It's already ready. This is the normal grilled chicken, white rice, uh, pico corn, cheese, lettuce. And I don't really do any beans. I'm not a big bean person, but also post work I'm not trying to get a lot of fiber in. That's why I chose white rice over brown, and that's why there's no bean. But I probably would get beans anyway. So, but yeah, this is what I would typically get from the grocery store. And then um, I did also get gas on the way home. And next, I'll probably look at the footage that I've gotten so far today and review it. And I'm going to take notes on what I like and don't like and why I made some different changes this time around filming versus times before, and give you notes and show you that when you're just starting out, it's okay that your process is not perfect. 99% of the time, it's not going to be, but you need to just go ahead and start, and then make small little changes as you figure out what works and what doesn't. So I got to put all these away and see, do what I can in the time I think I have left. And then if I still have time left, I will show you kind of my process of watching all this stuff, reviewing it, making changes for next video, and then probably in the video there, go over my final notes and then what I plan to do next time. All right, so just like what I thought would happen did happen. I ended up running out of time at about 3:14 while I was eating my Chipotle, so I'm going to do this quickly while I have time. I'm going to review the footage I've gotten so far. So, my little speech with you this morning. I'm going to the gym, Target, some notes, which I have my paper over there. I'm going to take those and then probably go over my notes with you either later tonight if I'm feeling ballsy, or tomorrow morning before work, and I'll just go over what I think of the video so far, some things that I did before that I need to stop doing this time around, and what I plan to do to keep this going and stay consistent, and what I'll probably do in the next video. All right, so it is July 21st, 11:29. That was kind of loud. And I don't know what it is with time schedules and social media, but I cannot stick to my schedule to save my life. When it comes to working out and work and everything else in my life, I have my schedules down to a T. I have things planned out. Things go the way that I plan, I expect. And if small things go wrong here or there, I can adjust. But when it comes to social media, I just cannot do this right. And that is okay because sometimes it happens and we're going to keep going anyways. So, what I'm going to do instead now is still go to the gym this morning. Well, it's afternoon now, or noon, I guess. And maintain my schedule as if I hadn't messed up and do the best I can to save what's left. And then I will spend the rest of today going over the footage that I have and then giving you notes. And tomorrow, getting myself kind of back on track on the way that I planned and waking up early, going through my notes, and then having a normal, productive, functional day. It is July 22nd, 10:04 a.m. And I have finally finished taking all my notes from the video that I watched, all the footage that I had. I collected it, trimmed it up, got it ready to be posted. Now I'm just going to do my final notes on what I saw, and I'll probably add this clip at the end of it um, as a finisher for the video. But I have 7 things here on things that I need to commit to and work on to make these better over time. So the first one is I need to accept my new reality and let go of the original story. I've already said this many times, but my original goal was to get this started a few months after I finished college. And I think over time, because I messed up and failed, I failed based on the original expectations I had set. I got into this bad habit of trying to find something to make up for lost time and go viral and be successful in just 2 or 3 weeks instead of letting it take 2 or 3 months, if not a couple years. And I haven't let go of that. So when I keep trying to make new videos, I'm thinking in very short timelines of what can I do or what can I post to be successful in the next month so I can get back on track instead of just getting back to my normal routine and schedule that would have worked over the course of 5 or 6 months if I just stayed consistent back then. Um, and what mattered to me back then of wanting to be a fitness influencer now does not make sense for me now. It's not what I work towards or enjoy, so I need to fix that. The second thing I have here is more clarity, and this kind of pays off, or pays off. This is sort of plays off of the first point that I made of where I'm not very clear anymore on what I'm even posting for and who this is for and why I'm doing it and why it makes sense for me. I'm just posting for the sake of posting, but I'm not really sure what that's supposed to look like. And so I very easily get trapped in analysis by paralysis, or did I say that right? Paralysis by analysis. Um, Trying to overthink what I need to do to be successful overnight. And I don't have a way to post and then figure out what's going well or not and then improve next time. It's just a bunch of randomness, and I can't improve randomness. I don't even know what works or what doesn't and why, so I can't repeat it, which means I'm more likely to fail than succeed. So I need to work on that. I need to focus on doing what makes sense. Or I said for 3 here, I need to post what makes sense for my story and my next few steps instead of trying to mimic what I see online. And that's just very simple, basic thing that I should have been doing anyways. Is that I've got to remember that even though something works for somebody else, that makes sense for their story and their journey and what they've posted. And what's even worse about trying to, I guess, learn from what you see other people post is a lot of people don't even post their full story. They'll post just the highlight reels, and they'll create this image of things are always super together and organized and well, and that's not usually how things actually play out in real life or behind the scenes. And so I've got to stop trying to make my journey make sense and work based on what worked well for somebody else. That's just not my situation. So I need to fix that. Um, 5 is I need to start doing more and stop trying to research how to do better. Um, as a bad habit and mindset I picked up. I don't even know where I got it from, but even in like high school, I would never do the rough drafts for English. I would always just skip all that, take the hit on my grade, and just post one final paper. And I just refuse to, show work in math or any. I don't know why, but I don't like doing a little bit of prep work. I just want it to be done right the first time and then move on. Um, and constantly researching can or has, I guess, led to me doing. Uh, I forgot which one. Oh yeah, 3, I guess, better, because then I'm constantly seeing other people's journeys, and so then when I try to execute on my plans, it's based on somebody else's and not my own. I gotta stop doing that. 6, I kind of already touched on. I need to fix some bad habits and um, kind of rework how I think about how I do this. And I actually mentioned this earlier in this video where I said I don't do well with going at this a little bit at a time. I'd rather find one solid 5-hour block and work on things all at once rather than just take an hour here or there when I can and keep things moving. And while that may have worked in the past for other situations, and ideally, if my life was the way I would have wanted to be or planned for it to be by this point, that would work. But right now, that's not my situation, and I cannot wait until my next off day to then try to get caught up on a week's worth of work when I could still commit an hour or two every day leading up to my next off day and then have a lot more things in place, set, ready, and prepped for me to hit the ground running on my off day instead of trying to hastily just throw everything out there and then get moving and then stumble and mess up and then not have enough time to fix it. And then 7 is just a very basic, I think, life skill in general, but just I need to focus on getting better each time and not overthinking each video, trying to make them perfect. Because especially in the beginning, I don't have the resources or knowledge or experience yet for it to be perfect based on what I think at this point. But that doesn't mean that I can't work up to that and get there eventually. So these are all things that I will be working on in the in-between time from this video and next one, and you'll start slowly seeing things get better. And I will add a central theme or storyline to this at some point because I need to get off of the trying to make fitness content to be a fitness influencer mindset, and that's not what the channel is anymore. It's more of a lifestyle channel with a foundation in fitness, and the end point for this is building a life for myself out there and enjoying that and showing people how fitness got me there. But the end goal for this is not just my body. So that'll be it for this video. It was very rough and very stressful, but we made it through. And I say this every time I come back, but I will work on these things and I'll be back for my next video. And I know better than to tell myself a specific day, because as soon as one thing goes wrong, everything's ruined and you're not seeing me again for a year. Um, so I'm gonna end things like this. And even though it wasn't a great start, it was a start. And I think that this actually sets the tone for the rest of the channel a lot better than something that would have been very smooth, because this is supposed to be a documented, uh, I guess, journey or story that's not supposed to start perfect, so that I can show people that you don't need a perfect start to get to where you're going. You just need to start. And that's what today was. So hope you enjoyed this absolute firestorm of a video. Was it awful? Yes, but it was something, and we're going to get better. And with that, I will see you next time.